Hey man, you're back to another Internet Historian Expleened video reaction, and this one is about Gabriel Night 1, and when I was reacting to the video last time, it referenced this one, which I assume was recorded right after this one, so yeah, I figured I might as well try and check this one out, because I have no idea what this game is about, never heard of it, and yeah, like, with a good number of the Expleened videos, those are usually games that I've heard about, not necessarily played, but I think there's only like one or two explained reactions that I've done that I had no backstory about. I think one was like the suffering. Oh, what was the other one? I think it was like it's like one of the mystery games that I reacted to. So yeah, no idea what this is about. Based off like the one screenshot they showed last time, I assumed it's one of the older games because of how pixelated it is, but yeah, let's just see. I mean, I assume there's a series because this one says Gabriel Night 1, but apparently he hasn't done the other ones. So yeah, let's just check it out.
Gabriel Night. Sins of the fathers. My dad did a thing and I'm in trouble. We play as Gabriel Knight, and he's the owner of a struggling bookstore in New Orleans, or New Orleans. He is also an...
It reminds me of... I mean, it's not 101, but it reminds me of those point-and-click adventure games like Indiana Jones, Fate of Atlantis. Love that game.
bookstore in New Orleans, or New Orleans. He is also an author, but his books sell very poorly, and he has weird nightmares. Also, he's got all sorts of problems, and also this.
Never mind. This is not like those point-and-click adventure games at all.
The game takes place over 10 days. Day 1. So the game begins in Gabriel's bookstore, and then he walks out of his shitty room,
partially does.
And then he sees his assistant, the smart and sexy Grace Nakamura. And she's on the phone. Mushy mushy. It's a woman on the other line. She's calling for Gabriel. Gabriel goes, "Oh, no, don't tell her I'm here, even though I live here and also work here." So Grace says, "Oh, he's out." Grace then...
Also, what's with like this blurriness? Like I have it set to 1080, right? But yeah, it's very blurry. I mean, like pixelated, sure. I mean, it's back in the day, but I wasn't expecting that all the blurriness.
And informs him,
"Your handheld recorder has arrived."
Really? Great.
I'm very excited by this, and I take it. He then picks up and reads a newspaper.
Okay.
In the news today, there is a series of murder, and we're referring to them as the voodoo murders.
Also, the Waco siege. The victims are all members of the underworld. Apparently, all the murders also have voodoo trappings to them, themes to them. And the police claim that this is a scare tactic and the murders are not associated with any genuine voodoo practitioners.
Right.
Oh god, it's the voodoo boys from Cyberpunk. And Gabriel plans to use these murders as material for his next book. I mean, I'd wait till the bodies are cold. So Gabriel heads to the police station. "Hey, I heard a murder just happened. Why don't you tell me all the details?" He would get no more information than a reporter would.
This game does actually play to that logic. That's why he picks up a letter from his old friend, Detective Mosley, who he's known since high school. And that's how he gets all his information.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. What's inside this letter? It looks like 2 photographs. One of the photos is of a victim at the crime scene.
Oh,
and
wow.
the other is mostly graduating from the police academy.
Just gotta let people know.
So then he just goes off to Jackson Square. Why not?
Ooh,
Here he finds a cop on a bike.
musicians.
He distracts the cop. "Oh, look at me. Oh, no, he does it with a local mime. Oh, look at him."
Right.
A mime should always come with someone else who does the sound effects.
That'd be way better.
Tandem show, yeah. So the cop chases the mime. Why?
I don't know, the
Why?
mime literally just goes in front of him and starts miming, and that annoys the cop, so he's
Oh.
like, "Get back here!"
Is he like a reverse mime? Is he doing blackface?
Yes, he's doing reverse
Oh
mime.
my god,
Right.
disgusting. Gabriel then walks over to the cop's bike and he listens to the police radio. Listening to the radio, he learns the crime scene location. Oh, so we head there next. Why would that not be reported on? They would tell you where the murders happened.
I think they would tell you after. Murder happened here, but while we're still investigating
Not
it,
during the
this is an active crime
investigation.
scene. Like,
Right,
there's a body
okay.
on scene.
Okay, so that's where Gabriel heads next. We have been in Gabriel. It's too many syllables.
G-Night.
Yeah, G-Night.
You just walk through the police tape like that without no one stopping them? What?
Good night, fellas. So, that's where Goodnight
Yeah,
goes.
like what?
But Detective Mosley is also here.
Oh,
and
that's
they're
probably
friends,
why.
so that's fine. Gabriel approaches him.
Hey, mostly.
Mostly.
Matt, you wiener. I told you not to call me that.
By the way, do you recognize this voice of Mosley?
You wiener. I told you not to call me that.
That's Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
Is it
The
really?
Joker baby.
And do you know who's doing Gabriel Knight?
Like, is that really him doing the voice acting of that character? Because I mean, I know he's done voice acting stuff in the past, but really, this one?
That's Tim Curry.
Really?
Why don't they have it in the intro? No one's...
Wait, is Tim? What a star-studded cast if it's true. I mean, like, I know Tim Curry has done some games in the past too, because I remember, like, I think it's on my gaming channel. I play Frankenstein Through the Eyes of the Monster, that where it's like it was an adventure game, like first-person adventure game, point and click, but it also included FMV cinematic type stuff, and Tim Curry was like the only. I think he's like the main guy in that game.
Said nothing. Detective Mosley greets Goodnight, and he shows Goodnight the body.
Come have a look at this
just
dead
like
body,
that.
mate.
Dude, this is cool. Poker with a stick.
No
As they're
NDAs or
investigating,
anything.
A car pulls up. It's Malia Getty. She wants to know what's going on. Mosley tells her it's
Right.
nothing to worry about, but then Gabriel immediately falls in love. Whoa, love. But do not call me, because I will pretend to be away. Would you like to read
Right.
one of my books? Nobody buys them, they suck. Mosley informs him that she is out of his league. Why? She's just really good looking.
She's really good looking, but she's also like rich.
But Malia does live
Oh.
around the area, and Gabriel thinks she might have some info. So then the police officer comes over, right? And he goes, did you know that there's no evidence at all at this crime scene? It must have been a professional voodoo job. Then they take the body
Right.
away.
Mosley then says goodbye to G-Knight and to come see him at the police station if he would like to go over the case. Gabriel, then doing a better job than the police, finds a snake scale at the crime scene. He also finds some clay, which he picks up.
He probably uses that thing where you press like L1, like in Cyberpunk. He does a scan and he finds the scale.
We head back to the
Right.
bookshop. He asks his assistant, Grace, to find out info on Malia Getty.
I want to know.
Then they close up for the day. Gabriel has the same nightmare again while he sleeps.
Day
Right.
2.
We start in the bookstore. Gabriel asks Grace about Malia Getty. She tells him that she did find her address, professional stalker. She also informs him that the Gettys own 3 local hospitals, and they
Ooh.
run in very high circles.
They must be very sick. That seems overkill. I'll just make one big one.
She gives him the address, which Gabriel puts in his pocket for later because he's off to the police station to see Mosley.
Again.
He gets there, and he asks Mosley some questions, and he gets some info.
I got some questions, see, and I need some answers right now. Ha.
The info is, at least 20 people attended the killings. This can be confirmed by the footprints around the scene. Remember how there was no evidence?
No, neither did the game
Right.
writers.
So far, they have been 7 voodoo murders.
That's
No evidence, but then you're able to like get all this information. Like what?
quite a lot.
Yes, and the first one occurred 8 weeks ago. That's like 1 a week. No evidence has been found, except for the boots,
Yeah,
and
the
some
footprints.
leopard fur, which is weird because leopards aren't in New Orleans.
What about snake?
No, they're all in... Are leopards in Africa or South America?
Don't know, they're not in New Orleans. So leopard is in Gabriel's recurring nightmare as well. All the voodoo murder victims have had their hearts removed, and none of these hearts have yet been found. The knife wounds are consistent with that of a ritualistic dagger, and there are no witnesses. All of these victims are also out-of-towners.
That's
Right.
pretty neat. I like that. You don't see many just in-depth murder mysteries in games. We set the scene. We've got a grizzled author. He's got to hunt down the murders so that he can write an award-winning book. Now, there are 7 dead within 8 weeks. There's leopard fur. What are the connections? Oh my god.
I mean, back then there was a lot of. I guess like I don't know if it was like time or what, but you really could expand the lore in video games. Like recently I reacted to like the part 3 of the marathon rabbit hole that I'm reacting to with Mandalore Gaming, and they put a lot of lore in that game for it being like a, because like when you think about like first person shooters, you don't really think that much about lore, but that game had a ton of lore. So I don't know, like games back in the day, you could just put a lot of information that the player doesn't really need to find, But if they do, then they're gonna go down this rabbit hole that they may or may not wish they have dug. I don't know, but yeah, nowadays there are games like that. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's few and far between compared to how it was back in the day.
And he's having nightmares. Maybe there's something supernatural involved. And there's also strange patterns all around the bodies, which we didn't mention before. How is that not evidence? Anyway, Mosley
Right?
gives this
That should be
civilian
evidence.
permission to see the file with all the patterns, and Gabriel asks Mosley,
How about getting me some coffee?
I'm not doing that for you. I'm doing you the favor by letting you see these photos. You grab the coffee. He does.
What a bitch.
Yeah, very easily walked out. Okay. And while he's out of the room, Gabriel steals his badge.
What?
Holy shit.
What a breach of friendship.
That is such a felony.
Gabriel's a piece
Yeah.
of shit. I can't stand
Yeah.
with this Gabriel fella. You do some talking.
So now that Gabriel has this police badge, he goes out and he talks to a policewoman. She gives him the
surprised he
police
didn't
file that
notice
Mosley's given him
after.
permission for, but no photocopies.
Because like obviously he went out to get the drink, right? But for sure, like, wouldn't you notice when you come back?
She gives him the police file that Mosley's given him permission for, but no photocopies. Inside are partial patterns from the first 6 murders. After viewing the patterns, he gives the file back. Then he goes back
Does
to
he have,
Mosley.
like, a photographic
Hey, Mosley,
memory?
let's get a photo for my book. Mosley agrees, and he calls in the policewoman that Gabriel just got the files from. But Gabriel says,
Hold on a sec while I go check my hair.
and then he goes outside and quickly photocopies the
Wow.
files from before while no one's around.
I mean, what about this guy? I mean, does he care? It's like, I'm just the desk clerk and they don't pay me enough to care.
Bro, this guy sucks.
So he gets his photocopies while no one's looking, runs back, grabs that photo real quick, and then he fucks off.
Now that
Right.
I have stolen from you, Mosley, and I have used you, I shall leave.
What a terrible friend.
So, off we go to the Dixieland drugstore. And he's in there, and
Oh,
then
look
a
at
strange
alligator.
woman comes in. And she says she's having trouble sleeping. She thinks someone must have buried right, there's hyphens here, a sleep not bag, like a don't go
Right.
sleep bag, near her steps, the steps of her house. That's my...
Wait, what was that? Mother energy drink. Was this recorded before or after? I assume this was recorded after that incognito mode video that they've done where that first however 10 it was like 10 minutes? Probably like longer. Where they did like a whole thing about mother.
go sleep bag near her steps, the steps of her house. That's my first thought too. Did she find the bag?
I don't think so. I think she's just too old to bend down and look for it, so she's just assumed.
That's probably that. So the shopkeeper helps her with some voodoo charms. As you do,
Right.
they've only got one solution. It's like the pin in the doll every time. The shopkeeper gives her some voodoo charms. Then Gabriel talks to the shopkeeper. Can I ask you about the voodoo murders? And he replies, Cabri Secor, which means...
It is a reveal.
Oh.
He goes around and he asks heaps of people about it.
Oh,
Wouldn't the French version of this game does not make any fucking sense? Look, we've got a very international audience. They know immediately what that means. Maybe it's like,
yeah, that seems weird, right? Maybe not so much back in the day, but I feel like that seems weird. Like if the person responds in a different language that is a known language to other people, and it's supposed to be like a massive spoiler to find out, that seems weird. I feel like that's why if you're gonna do that, have like a, I guess, close but made up language, but then they might get flagged for, I guess, making fun of the. I don't know. But like having a spoiler, like supposedly a big spoiler based on what they said, but just in a different language, it seems weird.
Haitian Creole or something, not actually French. So Gabriel asks, what does that mean? And he pretends that he didn't say, I didn't say nothing. This is a weird
Right.
conversation. And then he just gives up.
Yep.
Okay. So he heads to the historical voodoo museum, and there's heaps of voodoo stuff in there,
What's in the
including
back?
a child-shaped coffin. That's very sad. And then he asks the proprietor, Dr. John, about the voodoo. He gives him a history lesson. Let's do the voice.
Oh, let's get cancelled.
I'm allowed to do an African accent. I'm going
Is
for it. You can't even tell what country I'm doing, so you don't really know which country I'm being racist towards. So, voodoo is a... It's a religion born of the African slave trade. Oh, that's not very good. Really? Is that true? Yep. Cool. Here's more history, right? We do that. Early voodoo worshippers were very heavy snake worshippers. They worshipped something called the Great Zombie. And there's a variety of voodoo kings and queens, at least they were at first. But then by 1830, a single power emerged. And this, big honcho voodoo queen was named Marie Laveau, and she had a pet snake, and she danced with it. She's got the parcel tongue. Anyway, she was in charge of voodoo in New Orleans for many years. Now, contemporary times. Many people think that voodoo is just magical spells and that, but actually, in practice, that is called hoodoo. Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Who do all these murders? And it is only part of the voodoo religion, right? And the voodoo religion has a strong following in New Orleans, and there are several voodoo churches or temples in the city, and then this Dr. John guy refers him to a local voodoo practitioner. Her name is Magenta Moonbeam. It's not much worse than naming your kid Khaleesi, which I've seen a lot of.
It's like my rap name.
Well, okay, yeah, right, okay. Steve in the sheets, Moonbeam in the streets. All right, but before we do that, let's go to the cemetery. Why not? Gabriel Knight has no scruples whatsoever, so he'll just look to pick up anywhere. He goes to the cemetery, and we're here to visit Marie Laveau's grave. She is the old voodoo queen that we mentioned about 30 seconds ago, and there are markings on her tomb, but these are fresh markings. Gabriel draws a copy of these markings. Right, now it's time to go to Magenta Moonbeam. Gabriel gives her a copy of the markings found on the grave. Look at these! She recognizes it as
the voodoo
code. What did you say?
Whoever wrote this voodoo code was pretty shit at it, not gonna lie. The only readable sentence that I can see says, conclave tonight bring. And I don't know if you speak English, but that's not very good English.
That doesn't mean anything.
The last part may also mean fresh cash.
Fresh
Moonbeam
cash?
is uncertain. Then we leave and we head off to Malia Getty's house.
Like freshly printed
he arrives
cash?
at Malia Getty's house and he uses Mosley's police badge to get past Getty's housekeeper. That's a federal offense.
Good thing he's not
right.
dangerous. Although he's going to try and seduce her, right?
Believe so. Anyway, he meets up with Malia and he asks her about the lake.
What do you know about the lake?
I don't know anything about the lake.
She says.
But also, you don't really look like a real cop there. You look a bit sus.
I mean, he dresses like a detective, based off what I've seen in the gameplay, but...
I'm an imposter. But you seem very beautiful.
Right.
He says.
I don't care how beautiful I am. Get out of my house.
Yeah, right?
So
That's like the reasonable response.
And then he requisitions a local child to climb through the bars guarding a statue in the middle of the square. Where's his kid's parents?
It's New Orleans. I don't know.
I have to see what's in this gorilla cage. Let me throw you over the... Anyway, he does this because there's a piece of paper that he can't quite reach. The kid retrieves the paper and gives it to Gabriel.
That was easy.
You know, mister, do you promise not to kill me and my dog? I promise. The paper has a drawing of a cathedral, and it was lost by an artist within the square, and Gabriel returns it. Here you go. He then takes the patterns that he found at the murders, right, and all this stuff, and he gives it to the artist. Why?
Because the artist tells Gabriel he will try to reconstruct them and get back to him tomorrow. So he has a full copy of the patterns around the body because he's only got partials at the moment.
Oh. So the reason that he went and got that picture was so he'd go, It
sounds like he already took a picture and photocopied it, right? But then... So why would you want the paint? I guess if they want if they're able to make a bigger picture of it,
right.
Sure.
Here you go. Here it is back. But now you owe me a favor.
Yeah, he gives it to him as like a trade.
At some point was the artist like, I've lost my picture.
No, he just goes there.
It's just fucking random. So then we go back to the bookstore. We ask Grace to do more research on Madame Cazeneuve.
Are you paying
Who is that?
She's the old woman from the drugstore, the one with that no sleep bag.
Then we end the day. Gabriel has more nightmares.
Nightmares every night.
Day 3.
Snakes.
Grace gives Gabriel a phone book page of all of Madame Cazeneux's numbers. He will try to figure out which one is her. He reads the newspaper and he finds an event on African religion at the Tulane University. Let's find if that's real. Mosley has also left Gabriel a message.
It was.
The
Seems
Tulane
real.
University. Let's find
Once again, it's
if that's
real.
real. Mosley has also left Gabriel a message. Hi, Gabriel. Have you seen my badge? And also,
Right?
I hope you
I
didn't
feel
photocopy
like-
any of that stuff. Get me in big trouble. And also, we're interrogating some witnesses.
Like, wouldn't losing your badge? Is it like? I feel like that would be a big deal. But I guess maybe not in this game. I don't
You
know.
probably want to gonna be there. Okay. Going, alright. Hope you're having a good day. So, a man named Wolfgang Ritter is also called for Gabriel many times. He's claiming to be a relative of Gabriel's. And then Gabriel makes some phone calls and locates Madame Cazeneux. He also calls Wolfgang Ritter. How are we related? He says, and it turns out that he was the brother of Gabriel's grandfather. So that makes
Right.
him Gabriel's great uncle. He also states, Gabriel, you are in danger and you must leave New Orleans. He wants him to come to Germany. Is he German?
Family
Right.
heritages. I'm pretty sure his family lived in New Orleans.
But Gabriel refuses. I will not go to Germany. Wolfgang then says, well, has a compromise. I will send you a family journal, and please read it. Do read it. And Gabriel agrees, except he cannot read.
Author who can't read. No wonder he's not selling very well.
He just, writes out the sounds.
We go back to Jackson's.
Wait. What
No
was
wonder
that?
he's not selling very well.
He just...
Heard. They are bad. I've died. I can't read this. G Night.
writes out the sounds.
I can't read.
We go
I'm
back
not
to
gonna
Jackson
read that.
Square. Here, he sees the painter, and he's completed his pattern.
Wow, this is great.
He gives it to Gabriel, and Gabriel takes a look at it.
Ooh.
It seems
looks like-
familiar. Ooh.
It looks like a crosshair.
Ooh. Then he goes into the church next to the square.
Okay.
And if he wasn't going to hell already for, crime scene stuff, stealing somebody's badge, he just goes ahead and steals a priest's collar and robes.
As one failed author does, right?
Guy sucks. He's like Hitman, but he doesn't kill anyone.
You're just an asshole.
He then goes...
I was gonna say he's more like Alan Wake. I feel like this is the precursor to Alan Wake or something like
to the
that.
police station. And Mosley demands his badge back. What have you done, Gabriel, you fucking dick?
Give me my fucking
Right.
badge, and I'm charging you for stealing
Right?
it.
Gabriel returns the badge reluctantly.
Reluctant.
Can I please interrogate the witness, though? Oh, all right. Now, the witness is a guy called Crash. He's not actually a...
What precinct? What, who lets a non-officer interrogate, and most probably without a lawyer at hand? What? How would that be admissible at all?
witness. He's an informant, helping to bust small-time pimps and drug dealers. They found him
Right.
in Jackson Square that morning, pushing cocaine. Now, Mosley thinks he knows something about the murders for no discernible reason, and they begin the interrogation. Crash says, I don't know nothing about nobody.
I can't say anything. The scary people will get me.
Oh my god.
Crack addict shakes.
So they put him back in his cell, and Gabriel leaves. Gabriel then heads off to Tulane University for that lecture. He falls asleep during the lecture. He then has a nightmare of being put into a
I've been there. Oh, I've been there.
Oh my god.
Let me out.
Not in the coffin, but I'm just falling asleep in a lecture.
Help.
And he's awoken by the lecturer telling him that the lecture is over. Whoops. Gabriel then goes to speak to the lecturer. Hey, can you just do a quick recap of everything? I was asleep. Gabriel then asks if he knows what Cabrice encore means. I do, he said, building up drama. It means goat without horns.
Wait, what does that mean?
Sheep.
They're killing sheep. Why did the shop owner say sheep at me?
That's such a letdown. To the Haitians, it means a human sacrifice. Oh, that's a...
Wait, but they made it seem like it was a big spa. Oh, I'm disappointed.
bit more dramatic. And Gabriel also gives the pattern to the lecturer. Look at this. The lecturer finds it interesting, and he photocopies it. Zip, 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 zip. The lecturer also asks,
This
where
room
he
is
got it.
fascinating,
And
though.
Gabriel says, it's of the voodoo murders. And then the lecturer is shocked because he says,
If this is from the voodoo murders, then the
Does this Gabriel guy not know I feel like he's like hindering an investigation. Not just because of the stuff he's been doing, which is illegal, but telling other people about. I feel like that's not a thing to do.
Voodoo murders are authentic. Anyway, I'm going to do some more research on this pattern and I'll get back to you.
You know what I'll do if I was a lecturer? I'd be like, you didn't even bother to stay awake during the bloody lecture, and now you're asking me to go to task for you. I'm not doing that. I'm busy. We leave, and we go to Madame Casino, and she opens the door. Gabriel asks her what's going on with the voodoo, and then he's told to go away. Madame Casino states that she is a good Catholic woman and who wants no part of this. She slams the door. So Gabriel comes back dressed in priest robes.
Not even comes back, he changes on her front porch.
And the Pope. She invites him in. Fuck me. Let me ask you again about the voodoo murders.
I mean, not breaking it, but trespassing? How you think? Entering a building under false I don't know.
And she states that, all right. Actually, they happen all the time, really. And also that Cabri-Sancourt thing does mean...
Also, how was he able to get his hair this slick from what we've seen before? I don't know if we can... It was like all floofed up. Must have used a lot of hair gel or something.
All the time, really. And also that Cabri-Sancourt thing does mean goat without horns, okay? And Madame Casino states that her great-grandmother could tell stories of human sacrifice. She knows all about it. And also, people think that human sacrifices did not happen in New Orleans, but actually, they did.
Move! Mum said it's my turn on the microphone. What are we doing? What game are we on to? Aren't you in space?
We're continuing with Gabriel Knight.
I love some good night, girl. I know exactly what we're talking about.
Madame Casino states that Marie Laveau was a front to distract authorities from the real Voodoo Queen. It's been the same Voodoo Queen for almost 200 years.
Don't tell me that the Voodoo Queen is his assistant. I feel like that's the most obvious route that they can go with, is that his assistant is the Voodoo Queen. I hope I'm wrong.
It's a secret though, and most of the Voodoo followers don't even know about it. This real Voodoo Queen controlled Marie Laveau like a puppet. She also shows Gabriel a token that was used to gain entrance to the real voodoo ceremony. This token is a snake bracelet. Because Gabriel is dressed as a priest, she asks him to bless this token, which he does.
Bless this bracelet of a snake, even though its vibes aren't great.
What's the point of combining Catholicism with voodoo? It's either or, surely.
Whilst doing this, he also makes a mold of the bracelet in the clay that he found at the lake.
He leaves and then he goes back to the Dixieland drugstore to see what he can score.
He inquires about voodoo animal masks. You got any of those good voodoo?
I mean... Yeah, I feel like it still requires some hair gel. That versus all slicked back.
Voodoo animal masks?
Oh, I only have one left.
It's a dog. It's been yiffed in quite a lot. I hope you don't mind. But it is still expensive, and I will not sell it for less than $100. That is far too expensive for Gabriel, who has not sold any books. So he decides to leave and head to his grandmother's. Why? To get money from his grandma?
Yeah, inheritance.
Grown man, earn your own money. Oh.
Gabriel heads to his grandmother's and asks, "Hey, Grandma, you know about this Wolfgang Ritter?"
I can confirm. Your grandfather's last name was Ritter. Your grandfather also did have family in Germany, although he never spoke much of them. I cannot confirm whether Wolfgang Ritter is family or not.
I don't know whose you are, to be honest.
I'm going to my bookstore. When he arrives, he sees a man named Bruno. He asks if Gabriel will sell his father's painting today.
I'm not super keen on it.
I'll give you 100 buckaroonies.
Which Gabriel accepts. He then goes back to the Dixieland drugstore and buys $100 worth of Percocet.
I feel like he could have held out for more. It's just... The first this guy does suck. Like the first offer he's gotten is like, I'll take it, I need that money, just You could have held out for more. Maybe you don't. Maybe you need some more in the future.
Sets. And then he steals the crocodile animal mask. Okay, that didn't happen. He bought it. We then go to the Napoleon house. Why?
Because he wants a drink.
Get crunk and drunk in your crocodile mask.
The Napoleon house is a bar, and he learns from the bartender about a man named Sam, who is into voodoo stuff. Oh no! Gabriel then talks to Sam. Hello.
He gives Sam the clay mold. What do you think of this? Sam is a jeweler, and he says that
What's
he
happening
can
in
make
the
that
background? I don't know
bracelet that
whether
you
you're
just
right.
molded with the clay. Come back tomorrow and I'll have it ready.
Surely that would cost some money.
I've cut a lot
Right.
out of this script because, believe it or not, this was longer. He helped him with a game of chess, so he like owes him a favor.
Okay, then Gabriel.
So how long is this game? Because like, from what I've seen with the Expleened stuff, some of them is proportional to the length of the actual game, while some isn't. Like compared to how long the Subnautica video was versus how long it actually takes to play through the story, I feel like that's different compared to, let's say, I guess the Resident Evil stuff. So yeah, it makes me wonder, because like they said they cut some stuff out, but yeah, I don't know. Also, like some of the stuff I haven't reacted yet is pretty long too. One of them was like in 3 parts.
Gabriel decides to leave and go to the cemetery. At the cemetery, he runs into Malia Getty again.
Also, like,
She's
his
coming out
Forspoken
of
was,
the
like,
Getty family.
over an hour
tomb.
too.
She's rising from the dead. Oh my god, Gabriel, strike her with a shovel.
That's not what I'm gonna try and do, though. You know what I'm gonna try and do?
Hey.
It's only a crime in some countries. Gabriel tries to convince Malia to go out with him. Please go out with me. I'm a Pisces. Oh, what are you, like an Aries? Oh yeah, we're like super compatible. Capricorn. Oh no, that's compatible too. But she says no.
Right.
There is no place for you in my heart/life, Gabriel Knight. Good night to you. And so he returns to the bookshop alone. Malia Getty also. Wait, what?
Yeah, so she's just like, oh, I don't have time for you, Gabriel. And then I guess, she gets in her car and she's driving home.
Yeah.
She's having a deep think and she's like, damn, I really would like some Gabriel dick. And then she drives back.
Oh my
What?
god. All of a sudden,
What's
Malia
happening?
Getty shows up at the bookstore and it's late at night, and she's got something on her mind other than reading and scanning the Dewey Decimal System. Instead, they decide to spend the night together, as in sex. Gabriel Knight looks up in a book how to do it, and it all
not the
goes
story.
flawlessly.
Just shut up and kiss me.
10 seconds later.
Day 4. Malia leaves as Grace arrives. And inside the bookshop, Gabriel is reading a newspaper with 2 holes cut out of it so that he can steal glances at Grace. It states that they have closed the Verda Voodoo cases. And that
How?
actually, there's no voodoo going on. This is just some sort of underworld cartel war that you wouldn't know about, so don't worry about it. Look the other way.
The cartel war goes to another school.
Gnight thinks that this is ridiculous.
So Gabriel
was
heads to
that?
the police.
The captions has cartel war, but she goes to another school, so you don't.
The war goes to another school.
Gnight thinks that this is ridiculous.
So Gabriel heads to the police station. Mosley says the case is closed. Gabriel tries to convince him to reopen the case. Oh, come on. Mosley says he can't do that without proof.
Gabriel has to do 3
Right.
things before Mosley will reopen this case. He has to prove there is a voodoo
Right.
cult in
Can't
New
just
Orleans.
reopen stuff
He has to
willy-nilly.
prove that they're a threat, and he has to get a lead on the cult.
We should probably do a lot of really intense investigating. You should go to some
We're
research.
going to the bar.
Okay, so Gabriel goes back to the Napoleon house, and he gets the bracelet from Sam. He then goes to Jackson Square.
Now, at Jackson Square, Crash, who's Crash?
He's the informant that Mosley had in his office.
Yeah.
That guy from Mosley's office is there. He walks away as soon as he sees Gabriel, and Gabriel goes, oh, I better follow him. He keeps his distance, and Eddie sees Crash approach a drummer, then walk away. Gabriel then finds Crash in the cathedral.
Dude, I'm surprised he doesn't just get fucking struck down as soon as he steps in there, to be honest.
He looks terrible. He's very sick. Gabriel presses him for info. You gotta tell me what's happening, Crash. I've played all of your games. He's shaking him. Crash, you
All
gotta
of
tell
them.
me all of your stuff. I gotta know where Neocortex is. But Crash is reluctant to tell him anything. I won't tell you. I'm also dying. Gabriel shows him the snake bracelet. Look at this, though. And Crash says, that's a very nice bracelet. Where did you get it? But Gabriel Knight won't say. Instead, he says, what do you know about it? To which Crash then opens his shirt. He reveals a tattoo of the same snake that's on... how do you know it's the same?
What?
Snakes all kind of look alike, innit? And Crash says, it's the sign of the snake. And without it, you'll never get close to the voodoo
I'm
cult.
confused.
Crash then does a 180 and says, actually, I'll tell you everything because you got that bracelet. It's very nice. Gabriel asks about
really
the drummer he
confused.
approached.
What's
Do you
happening?
like to drum?
Crash reveals that the voodoo cult have rider drummers all over New Orleans. They see
Okay.
everything and they use the drums to report. They do it through some kind of special code.
1 beat equals yes, 2 beat no. And he says that the group...
See, like, I feel like that kind of code works in a sense, because like, even though you might know the sound, you don't know the code, you don't know the cipher, so you can't really decipher it until you know what it is. Compared to earlier, where they made the spoiler of just saying a phrase just in a different language that some people, if they know the language, they already know that. I feel like this one makes somewhat of more sense.
does do voodoo murders, and that they also wear animal masks at the same time as
okay.
they do the rituals. And that they don't just wear them, though. They become their fursona.
Oh, we really did this in Alone in the Dark 3.
He then says that the voodoo cartel... That's stupid. Has a hand in everything, from dealing drugs to bank heists to foreign stuff. What does foreign stuff mean?
We helped organize the Olympics.
He then also reveals that the temple is hidden underground somewhere in the French Quarter, but he doesn't exactly know where. And also, I am going to die.
What?
Crash then
What?
is dead. No.
Look at
But here's a
look at
weird
his
thing,
face.
right? His face shows signs of strangulation. They strangled him right on the face. That's awful. Gabriel
How?
then draws a copy of the tattoo and leaves the body there. Goodbye.
Just doesn't want to get help. Anything. Just this guy does suck.
Bye. So,
Well,
then
what is
he
going
heads back
on?
to the bookstore.
He asks Grace to do some research on rider drums and the patterns found around the murder victims. Grace agrees, and then she closes the shop. Through the night,
Okay.
Gabriel calls Malia Getty again, and then he goes round to her house.
Day 5. Gabriel comes back to the bookstore after a long night of pretending not to be able to understand anything over Malia's accent. I don't
I mean,
know what you're saying, speak English, he says very rudely. He then
he's wearing the same clothes too, so
says, Grace, tell me about this pattern, what do you know? Grace says that she has found an article about a murder in 1810. To be honest, it's probably too late to catch the killer, Grace. Anyway, the newspaper publishes part of the Oh my god, no, there's a clue in it. The newspaper publishes part of a pattern found around the body. And also...
who's this? Like, I keep seeing someone outside the window in multiple areas. Like, are we supposed to recognize that person? Or, because I mean, it's I feel like that's intentional rather than some background traffic, right?
So, that pattern looks very much like the current pattern, and also, here's a book on the Rada drums, says Grace, and also there's a note from Wolfgang Ritter, and there's a diary from Germany, and the diary, right, is of Gabriel's grandfather, whose name is Gunter Ritter. I know it's pronounced Gunter, but we're going with Gunter. It says the following. Dear Diary, my name is Gunter Ritter, and I have gone on a journey to Charleston, and also I'm a witch hunter. But while I was there in Charleston, I fell in love with a slave lady named Tetlow. Anyway, so as he's reading, suddenly the phone rings, and it's the university lecturer from before, you remember, and he has some new info, right? Why don't you come down to the university? I'll tell you what it is instead of over the phone, because it's a lot.
He's gonna die before he gets there, isn't he?
Okay, he goes there. But then, the professor is dead.
Yeah, I saw
he
that
has
coming.
died the same way as Crash. His face has been squozen, and on the desk is a sheet of paper with scribbled notes on it, which Gabriel takes. And then he notifies campus security and he leaves.
Oh, at least
by
he
the
tells
way,
someone
there's a dead guy in
there.
that office. Absolutely wasn't me.
Obviously, it's not you. You reported it.
Right, let's go to the Voodoo Museum, says Gabriel to himself out loud.
But when he gets there, it's empty. A python drops from the roof, attempting to kill
Ooh.
Gabriel with a knife. Gabriel fends it off. Then the museum owner, Dr. John, comes in and says, "Hey, we're closed. No fighting pythons." Gabriel says, "Okay, fine," and leaves to go fight his python somewhere else.
And Gabriel then returns to the bookstore, where Grace helps him clean. This is not in her job description. The snake left a scale behind on Gabriel. And then Gabriel goes, "Oh, look at this. I'm going to analyze it against the scale that I found at the lake that I didn't hand in to police." And then he says it's the same one. Can you believe it? Oh my God.
Because you can tell that with the naked eye. Well, he's got a magnifying glass, but I still don't think that cuts it.
Then he heads to the police station, right?
Look at my
and Gabriel goes in
surprised
to talk to
face.
Mosley. He tells Mosley about Crash's death. But Mosley blows it off and says that it was probably an OD. That's what they do.
I feel like this started off so well. Because I have no experience on what this game is about or how long this is or like if it was well received or not. But like it had premise, but then over time it just seems like our main character here is just not likable.
Dude, for every death in the city, it's like someone's like a hit and run with a car.
Ooh.
It's probably an OD.
He also tells him of the professor's death.
But Mosley dismisses this as well. Gabriel gives Mosley the professor's notes, the pattern, the old newspaper, and a whole bunch of other stuff and the scales and things. And Mosley goes, "All right, you know what? You've proven nothing to me, but I'm going to open this case, goddammit, because I love you, Gabriel. We go so far back." And Gabriel says, "Thank you, I'm going home."
I don't know if he's a good friend or not at this point, because he's done so many bad things, like just in general and to him. But I guess as long as he keeps enabling Gabriel, it's fine.
He then has a nightmare. Alright, day 6. Gabriel reads the newspaper. Today is St. John's Eve, which is an important holiday for voodoo believers. And anyway, so then he asks Grace to paint a snake tattoo on his chest. Why? Please.
Just because.
Okay.
Just because.
Yeah, also give it one of those cool S's, and then like give it some guns or something as well.
When they come back from painting, suddenly there's an envelope and it's pushed through the door. So it's a note from Mosley, and there is also a small brass key, says you can come over anytime. The note says that Mosley is doing this alone, and whatever this is, it runs deep and wide through the entire department.
Why
To
don't
the
you write
Right.
deep and wide?
and girthy all the way to the top. Apparently, the department has put him on
Is the
vacation
top going to
time
erupt?
because they don't like what he's investigating. They're all voodooers as well.
Voodoo doers.
Mosley has asked Gabriel to stay out of this. It's too hot for a rookie like you.
Done more than your entire department.
Anyway, just in case though, Mosley has sent Gabriel his office key so you can break in any time you like. But instead of doing that, Gabriel heads out to Jackson Square, and Gabriel approaches the
Is it breaking in if he gives you the key and gives you permission to enter? Maybe it's like overstaying your welcome, maybe, but
Rada drummer. Hello.
Badumts.
He uses the Rada book that Grace gave him to translate the drums.
My urethra is very inflamed, unfortunately.
So, the drum code says that there will be a conclave tonight in the swamp. That's very sophisticated drumming. He leaves and he goes to the police station. That was a great trip to the park, even though I didn't go on the swings. And he goes into Mosley's office. He finds a tracker device in the drawer. Then he decides to leave. Then he decides to go to the museum.
hey, there's part again.
But Gabriel has...
Like, is this a different person outside from his office? Or...
ulterior motives. He wants to slip a tracker into a child-sized coffin. Then he leaves and he goes to the edge of a swamp. Then he pulls out the tracker and it picks up a signal from the child coffin. So he heads into the swamp and his shoes are getting all dirty. But then it's an entrance to a thing and it's got down skulls.
Very subtle. It's like balloons at a birthday party.
So he takes off his shirt to impress them, and they can see he has a tattoo. Look, I did this today. It's very nice.
It says bad boy on it.
And he also
can see the
puts
redness
the crocodile mask on. And he was keeping that in his pocket. And then he heads in. They say, hello. Oh, hi. Now, Gabriel recognizes some of the people here. Oh, my God. That's Dr. John. Oh, my God, again. That's Malia.
Aren't they all wearing masks?
I'd recognize those bodies anywhere, especially Dr. John's. So he watches the ritual, right? And it turns out that that ritual is the same as the one from his nightmare. But then suddenly some stuff happens and then Gabriel wakes up in bed.
The entire game was a dream. The end.
Wait, what?
Not the end. Because now it's day 7.
Yeah,
Grace
because
is waking him
like
up.
day 7 out of 10, right? But imagine if it just ended like that. That would have been so disappointing.
Grace informs Gabriel, listen, Malia is the cartel leader. Also, Malia is that leopard from his nightmare. Oh my god. Malia transformed into the leopard, and that's when you blacked out. But Grace,
Right.
how do you know all this? Well, I followed you, and I saved your life. All right, exposition time. That leopard that Malia transformed into is called Tetelo. This is
Okay.
also the name from Gabriel's grandfather's journal.
Yeah.
Look at that. Bing, 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 bong. I'm calling my great-uncle Wolfgang.
Your weird phone from wherever you're from.
Guten Morgen, let me tell you all about it, he says. Me and my family and you included have been Schattenhagers for centuries, Gabriel. Thank you. Schattenhagen means shadow hunters.
Ooh, so edgy.
Let me also tell you about a talisman.
So tell us.
Right.
It was used by the shadow hunters for doing good, but it has now fallen into Tetelo's hands. And the only way to fight Tetelo is with that talisman, so you gotta get it back. I think that the
Right.
talisman is most likely buried with Tetelo's remains. There are 2 possible locations. It's
no
either with
grave
the
robbing
tribe
now.
in their current location, easy,
Easy.
or it's in a secret place near the tribe's homeland. And I have absolutely no idea where that is because I don't own a map. So Gabriel informs him of the info given to him by his professor. I believe that the tribe's name is Agris, and that they lived in an area that became the People's Republic of Benin. Wolfgang says, oh, that's very exciting, and I'm going to go off and do some research. Research. I don't know what accent this is anymore. He also encourages Gabriel to go and explore the other possibility. Maybe the remains are just down in that place. You know the one. Thanks. Love you. Bye. No, you hang up first. Click.
He hung up first.
So Gabriel puts on his pants. He heads out to the cemetery, and he heads towards the Getty tomb. I got some corpses to desecrate.
Right.
It's glass smashing, and inside he finds Mosley dead.
He's mostly dead.
This is a solemn moment. Gabriel is grieving, but then all of a sudden, Gabriel has been knocked out. He regains consciousness a short time later, still in...
Does he feel sorry though? Like, I'm surprised it took this long for him to like kick the bucket. Whereas like we got the lecturer that died just almost immediately after talking to him, and then it's just like he was with him for like since the beginning, but some friend.
Gabriel has been knocked out. He regains consciousness a short time later, still in the tomb. Mosley's body's now gone. But they forgot Mosley's wallet when they dragged him away. So Gabriel takes...
Police, someone killed Mosley and took $26 out of his wallet.
Gabriel then leaves the tomb. Better go back to the bookshop. I'm back.
Oh, how was your day?
Bad. Mosley's dead.
We should call the police or...
I've got a better idea.
Okay.
Call me Germany, which is where I'm going next.
You don't have any money. You're broke.
Don't worry, Mosley left me his credit card in his will.
No.
Then he books a limo to the
What a
airport,
terrible
and he heads off. So he arrives at Wolfgang Ritter's castle. The castle is called Schloss Ritter, and when he arrives, he is greeted by the maid. She informs him that Wolfgang...
He'll be here soon, so just wait here, exactly here. Do not move a single muscle.
Yeah,
So
on that tile.
Gabriel decides to poke around for a bit, try and get some of those German treasures. The first thing he finds is a dagger. So he takes it. And it also
Right.
happens to be the dagger of Schargenhager. Everything's everything of Schargenhager, though.
Yeah.
This is the carpet of Schargenhager.
About to go drop a deuce of Schottenhager.
The turd of Schargenhager.
Ugh.
And then he heads off and wanders around a bit. He finds a prayer room with 6 panels on all 3 sides that depict different events. Gabriel doesn't know what they are, though. I am dumb. He also talks to the maid. I don't know what you're saying.
I shall tell you all about her Wolfgang, and I'll drop the accent. Wolfgang has had a pretty rough life. It's been hard. His son died as an infant, and so Wolfgang thought that he was the last Schattenjäger until he learnt about Gabriel.
That's me.
That is you. Very good. It is unknown if Wolfgang will ever return. Before Wolfgang left, he told me, the maid, Schloss Ritter now belongs to you, Gabriel.
You mean the whole castle belongs to me?
Yes, which is kind of
What an
bullshit considering
inheritance.
I've been working for him for about 35 years.
Sorry, Alfred. I'm slightly related to him.
Also, let me tell you
Wow.
about the secret passages and rooms that are all throughout Schloss Ritter. But I don't know where they are. I keep seeing random women appearing and disappearing all around the castle. So I assume that they're here somewhere. These secret passageways, they're only available to the Schattenjäger.
It's like punching a hole in the wall. I found one.
Also, you see those panels in the chapel there? They depict the Schattenjäger initiation.
I mean, considering that most of the walls in that building are made out of stone, that might actually be a solid plan. Albeit, don't use our hands. Use like a hammer or something.
But I don't know what the details are, though, because only Schattenjägers are allowed to attend.
It's like all hazing stuff. Someone's got like a keg of beer and they're upside down.
Schattenjäger, Schattenjäger.
A shot of
It's
Jaeger.
just literally saying, take a shot of Jaeger. I give you everything that I know.
Thanks. Can I have a salt shaker for no reason? So Gabriel takes the salt
Why?
shaker. He continues upstairs and he finds Wolfgang's room. He takes a pair of scissors and a scroll from Wolfgang's dresser. Gabriel
Okay.
then cuts his hair. Just like in the panel in the church,
Okay.
he's going to do the initiation ceremony. He heads to the church and places a bowl on the altar. He then
Oh, so that's this. I didn't realize what this was. I guess that's cutting hair.
puts salt in the bowl. He then holds his arm over the bowl and cuts it with the Schattenhager
So that's
dagger.
this.
He cries a little, and he kneels at the altar.
So that's that.
Then
Halo.
he reads the scroll from Wolfgang's dresser.
Apples.
And then that's the one on the
Milk,
right.
bread. It says some stuff.
It says something in German,
It says something in German.
but it's a dead language, so no one can read it.
He has now completed what is depicted on the 6 panels. Nothing really seems to happen. I guess I'll go to bed. That night, Gabriel has a dream. A
Again.
dragon bursts out of the
Ooh.
panel in the middle of the chapel. Hello.
That's
if you want to
frightening.
become a Schattenhagen, you must first burn away the past.
Okay.
There are only 2 things that will redeem you. The Ritter blood in your veins. Well, I've got that. Thanks, I'm redeemed. The end. And also, there is another way to redeem yourself. There are the 3 women that have loved you purely. I don't know, say I'm
3?
already redeemed. Which 3 women?
Yeah.
Anyway, I will start you on the path of the Schattenhager, Gabriel. But you will not become one until you have properly earned it. Then suddenly, we see a vision. It's Gabriel. He's stabbing a sword into another version of himself. When this happens,
That's freaky.
the other version of him morphs into a key.
Whoa.
Day 8. Gabriel awakes, and the key from his dream is at the end of his bed.
Oh my god, it came real. Just like how I needed a pee in my dream, and that came real too.
He then uses it to open a large door beside the bed, and inside is the Schattenjagen library. He
Okay.
reads a whole heap of stuff, and he finds out about a great snake mound in the Republic of Benin.
Or is it Benin? I've been pronouncing it Benin. Is it Benin?
I always thought it was Benin. He holds on to this book with this info. He then gets on a plane and heads to the Snake Mound. Day 9. He arrives at the Snake Mound. He heads
2
deeper
days
inside
left.
and he solves a puzzle. And this causes the door to open. But there's
What
mummies
is
in
that?
the tomb that are coming to life. They're just about to eat
Mummies.
Gabriel. But then Wolfgang bursts in and saves him.
They both rush behind the door and seal it shut. Inside, they find a sacrificial table. There are some bars nearby, and they push them through the middle of the table.
Once both bars are in, they try to lift the top off the table. But it needs a heart in the center to operate. So
Right.
Gabriel goes to one of the mummies to get one. But while he's gone, Wolfgang sacrifices himself instead. What, he just kills
What?
himself and pulls out his own heart and puts it there.
How?
The way the table's set
Why?
up, I think you just lay down and it does the work.
What's
Oh.
wrong with him?
Look, there's a few problems with this scene. One, needs a heart, so he goes to get it from a mummy. Bill informed me, mummies don't have hearts. Like, they don't have any organs.
Yeah, right.
The ancient Egyptians removed.
Don't they like you said, they remove them and they like put them in canopic jars, right? From what I remember. And everything else, they like not dry, but yeah, like you have to like take the liquid out before they start the mummification process, or that's like the beginning of the mummification process.
That's true. Is there a reason for this sort of expedience? Because surely you could just go, we need a heart, let's go get one from a dog. Be like
Right.
a 24-hour round trip, but I can get you like a big dog heart right here, no problem.
I think it has to be human because of the voodoo. Wolfgang kills himself because ultimately he says his life as a shadow hunter was a bit of a waste. He didn't really do a whole lot with it. Basically, he thinks that the point of his life was to be at this point with Gabriel, so Gabriel...
Just now notice the faces that the masks are making on the walls.
continue on
my
his
mind.
journey.
All right, Wolfgang kills himself. The table
Well-
lid now slides off, okay? And Gabriel finds the talisman.
That is
Thank
bloody.
you. This will fetch a mint on the black market. He arranges for Wolfgang's body to be shipped back to Rittersburg. He then goes back to New Orleans with the talisman. Day 10, the final day, the big showdown. Gabriel comes back to the bookstore. But Grace is gone. Oh my god. There's a note from Malia. Oh my god. And it says that Toledo knows that he has the talisman and she will stop at nothing to kill him. Oh my god, don't do it.
What's happening here? So, Malia's family, they're the voodoo rulers for the last 200 years.
Okay,
and
so-
they control this power through a powerful spirit
So I was wrong, thankfully.
known as Tetlo. So when she puts on the cougar mask, she becomes Tetlo. Tetlo also essentially lives in her head as well, so she's
She's
sort of...
taken this persona too far.
Tetlo, this spirit, dictates her actions. So when Grace was kidnapped, that was Malia being controlled by Tetlo.
Oh, I see. Okay.
He must return the talisman, or Tetlo will kill him. Suddenly, Mosley pops out of Gabriel's room. Thought you were dead. He was
Yeah.
investigating the tomb when he heard someone coming. He hid, and when Gabriel found him, he assumed he was one of them. So he knocked Gabriel out and ran off.
Did you use my
Right.
card to go to Germany? Oh no, that was some other Gabriel night. I own a castle now.
Anyway, they go into Gabriel's room to talk. Gabriel informs him of what is going on, and they split up again.
Didn't he, like, he opened up the thing and saw his corpse, right? Or did he not bother to check any vitals? Did he get resurrected and just acting as like making sure Gabriel does the thing he's supposed to do, or was it actually did he actually just? Is that actually him? I'm so confused.
He goes off to find the headquarters of the voodoo cartel.
Mosley has, quote, other shit to do. Back to Jackson Square.
Right.
He heads to the church here.
Oh, I should have realized the giant voodoo HQ sign.
He then goes to the confessional booth. Putting the snake rod from Africa into a hole in the confessional booth makes it move like an elevator. He then
Right.
stores the rod and tracker for Mosley under the bench in the confessional booth.
We are now in the voodoo cartel headquarters. And in the headquarters, he heads
Very
straight for the
fancy.
closet.
This is where I belong.
I'm not coming out.
He steals masks and robes for him and Mosley.
He then also finds Malia's room, and he hides in there and witnesses Malia having a meeting with Titello. She begs for Gabriel's life. Please don't kill him and that, because he's nice. Toledo says that Gabriel will only betray them the way his grandfather betrayed her, and so therefore he must die. Oh, all right, well, if you won't spare Gabriel, will you at least free me? She says to Toledo. Tetelo refuses, and then the Toledo leaves. Gabriel is done eavesdropping for
Right.
now. And instead he goes off to find a room with a table in it. It reminds me of my dead grandfather. The table is the same sacrificial table from the snake mound. There are also Rada drums here. And some Rada cymbals. And also a Rada guitar. And
Kick drum.
have you played the Rada DLC for Guitar Hero 3?
jeez.
Anyway, Gabriel plays them. Why?
It's been a long 10 days. Sometimes you just need to have a jam.
Makes sense.
Wouldn't
Let the
that
feelings
like
out through the
notify?
drums, man. So it's like a secret code that opens the door.
A door
I mean, yeah, we got that from earlier, but wouldn't that just notify people that you're here? Or I guess it depends on how loud he's playing the drums,
opens,
maybe.
and he goes through it. This is where he finds their money room, which he just helps himself to.
I know it's dirty money, but it's for a good cause. Me.
He then finds Grace. Hi, Grace. In the distance, he can hear some Rada drums. This is signaling the ritual is about to begin. Then Mosley appears
Yeah, because if he can hear the drums from here, then surely other people would know that the drums are being played by him, right?
and comes into Grace's room. Hello. Gabriel uses the talisman to wake up Grace. The voodoo cartel plan to sacrifice Grace. So Gabriel hatches a brilliant idea. What if
So
I
his
send
friends
Grace
actually-
in there as bait? He and Mosley will be disguised as members of the cartel. Mosley and
Mosley's
Gabriel change into their
actually
robes and
him.
masks, and they go into the ritual.
The ritual starts, and Malia is controlled by
I like how they had to censor the top right bit.
Leto. Just as Tatello is about to kill Grace, Gabriel whips out his talisman, but it doesn't seem to do anything.
Wait, they glitched out too. Let me.
Gabriel whips out his talisman, but it
Did it? Yeah, there's like.
But
That's
it doesn't seem
YouTube
to
safe,
do
I think.
anything. Whoops.
I guess we'll find out.
But at least it distracts her for long
guess
enough
we'll
that
find out.
Grace can jump off the table. Dr. John then launches for her, but Mosley fires. Bang, bang,
So
bang, 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 bang,
Mosley's
bang.
actually
The other
Mosley.
tribe members evacuate. He throws the talisman to Mosley. Here, take this. Then he tells him, you gotta get Grace out of here. Now it's a showdown between Gabriel and Toleto.
Tetlow is just about to kill Gabriel. Gabriel then grabs a voodoo stone idol from nearby and throws it at the ground, destroying it. For some reason, this
Okay.
causes the ground to split beneath Tetlow.
That was
Right.
obviously a load-bearing stone idol.
She desperately hangs onto the side. Tetlow is screaming about Gabriel betraying Malia, but Gabriel tries to save Malia. Malia is relieved that Gabriel didn't betray her, but she understands that for Tetlow to die, she must die.
So she lets go, falling into the lava. The game ends with Gabriel and Grace standing on the balcony. Grace then turns to Gabriel and she says, do you think it's over? And also, I'm sorry about Malia. That's okay, says Gabriel. It wasn't your fault. Then Grace says, are you going to be a Schadenheiger? And then Gabriel says, yeah, I think I will, actually. That sounds pretty good. Then the game ends. Questions. Number 1.
So I assume number 2 takes place right after that, right? But I don't know how I feel about this whole story. Like I said, like the beginning had some it showed some promise, but just over time, I don't know if it's just because they skipped a lot of details or what, but the main character did not seem like over time it didn't. The main character didn't seem likable, and were they trying to capture the? Oh, what was that Mandalore gaming video I reacted to, where the guy was so unlikable, but in a charming way? I think this guy wasn't. I don't know. I guess back in the day, there was a character archetype of the jerk. That's I don't know.
Did Mosley find out about all of Gabriel's misdeeds?
So he did find out that he stole his badge. He did
Okay.
find out about his wallet. Here's your wallet back. Oh, you didn't spend anything on it, right? And Gabriel quickly thinks about that trip to Germany he took, then how he went to
Right.
Africa, and then he
Really?
looks at him and says no.
What a bad
What a
friend.
piece of shit. He's gonna find out anyway. Do they explain why people were strangled? Was it like a doll and they just go, "Wah."
The cartel has magical powers.
Right.
Whatever happened to the mine?
We don't know. We can just go ahead and assume he's probably locked up for 25 to life.
So there's about 8 deaths surrounding this one dude, and we're just
Right.
gonna leave it.
Under the rug we go.
Alright, you dummies. So, for the record, this is Bill Gates.
I mean, with a police friend like him, then you can really get away with a lot of things.
He is the CEO of Apple, and he is one of the
Right.
editors for this channel. This is
Right.
Jeff Bezos, and he is an astronaut / CEO of Keeping It Real, and he is also an editor for the channel. They do all the jokes, and they make this 2-hour recording bearable to listen to, so you be nice, otherwise they won't edit my videos anymore, and there's going to be a lot more of them, so you shall get used to it, and then you shall learn to like it, and then you shall learn to love it, and then you shall learn to love yourselves, because that is the most important thing of all.
I don't want to.
Laugh,
I didn't want to see that.
Oh, that's what I always say. I decided long ago not to live in anyone's shadow. Oh, hold on, I have to take a phone call. Buzz, buzz. Mrs. Zuckerberg, we shall sell all of our Facebook stock in order to buy 1 Bitcoin. Let me
Right.
go over the details on the phone with you. Goodbye.
Yeah, this was like 4 years ago, so. One like equals he's broke, so he's gonna have to immediately sell that castle and all the secrets. Like, yeah, like, I was like, is he gonna get billed for like electricity, like the utilities for that castle? But all the secrets that go along with it will be lost forever, or until some real estate agent's renovator stumbles across it and they find a bunch of dead Haitians in the walls, and that is the true Gabriel Knight 2, the start of Gabriel Knight 2. Oh, that was interesting. Like I said, I had no idea what the game is about going in, and I still kind of don't. I mean, I get the gist of the story, right? Obviously, they explained it, but I don't know. Just because it seemed like a game. Like on the surface, it seems like a game that would intrigue me back in the day, because I do like playing those types of adventure point and click games, but out of the story, it's just weird. I guess not weird, because because a lot of good stories are kind of weird at some points back for these types of games, but I don't know, nonsensical. It's like his cop friend just let him get away with a lot of things, both of his knowledge and both not, because it's from like, don't copy this piece of important evidence, right? And then he copies it anyway, until I guess murder, in a sense. So yeah, I don't know how there's sequels, but like I said, I don't think Internet Historian has done the sequels. But anyways, hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, thank you for watching and have a nice day.